But my grandma Ida Bentz is so inspirational to me, just going through third grade and being as wise and well read as she was. She's the reason why when my first book came out, Becoming Mature, Childhood Ghosts and Spirits in Adult Life, I decided I would take her name. She lived in the next block away from us, one block away, and as a child I would walk over there every day, followed by my kitty cat, Squeaky, and talk with her. And whatever I was thinking about or reading, we would talk it over. And she was already what we would call today in scholarly circles a critical theorist. She didn't take anything at face value. She would look at it critically from different angles. So, for example, she was already a feminist, although the word was not popular. She she would criticize the structure of the Lutheran Church because only men could be ministers and only men could vote in the congregation at that time. But the women did all the work and they essentially ran the congregation. So she was critical of that. And we would also talk about the Bible. And today, one of the fields that's very close to phenomenology, that is very important for scholars, is called hermeneutics. It's the study of how you interpret the meaning of texts. And a lot of what we do in phenomenology, we actually call hermeneutic phenomenology. Well, my grandmother was already a hermeneuticist. You can't just take everything, even the Bible tells you, without asking questions, without looking deeper into what is the meaning about it. And is this really social justice or not? So, because of her, I became a deep thinker at a very young age. And I still, I still feel that that's very much a part of me. A number of our students who studied phenomenology, which another way of saying phenomenology is embodied awareness, awareness of your own way of thinking and being, and also taking into account that we are living bodies, and so we bring the somatic component in too, knowing, understanding your body messages and taking care of that. And that also is very appealing to women. Lee Noble, she was a person who grew up in South Africa and felt strongly the injustice of apartheid. So when the change came with Nelson Mandela leading, she worked with him as a leader. And then in her dissertation, she studied years later, after he got out of 25 years in prison, she wanted to go back and interview him and talk with him about how did he become such a wonderful leader. She could not do that because he was ill and he was unable to talk with her. So what she did was very creative. She went to the archives where his letters from prison were stored. For 25 years he was in prison. He was only allowed to write one letter a month. So Lee Noble, who now uses the knowledge of leadership in her work with corporations, she wrote an imaginary dialogue of how he would answer the questions based on what he actually said in all these letters. So I believe that phenomenology is one of the best ways for women to study and know about their experience and make that clear in the larger world.